Nestling at the confluence of the Sambre and the Meuse rivers, Namur, or Namen in Dutch, is a city and municipality in Wallonia, Belgium. Because of its strategic position at the head of routes into France, Namur was the scene of several battles and sieges, notably the sieges of Namur that occurred during the War of the Grand Alliance in the late 1600s. Despite the battles, many architectural landmarks remain in Namur. Today, the squares and cobbled streets of the town center are lined with shops and an impressive clutch of restaurants. The city overflows with charm and is great for walking, drinking, shopping, and people watching. If the streets are too busy, you can also relax inside a courtyard or slip into the more quiet streets to admire the colorful buildings from the 17th and 18th centuries, fully restored. Namur is dominated by its medieval citadel, which sits atop a rocky promontory between the two rivers. In the Middle Ages, a fortified residence was erected at the tip of the rocky bulge, gradually transformed into a real castle, surrounded by towers and high walls. Inside the enclosure were the residence of the Counts of Namur, a collegiate church bordered by the houses of the canons, aulas, a great tower, bakery, cellar, stables, chapels, falconry, wells, and water tanks. On the other side of the protected ditch was a wall and 4 towers. Of these, only the general look of the stronghold remains: 3 towers, sections of the wall, and some vestiges of the enclosure. Following Spain's entry in the 30 Years' War in the early 1600s, the citadel of Namur underwent considerable improvements and fortification works. Over the centuries, their defense focused on the heights of the hill to overcome the 2 main weaknesses of the citadel: the La Follette ravine, which allows attackers to approach undercover via a gentle slope, and the lower parts of the citadel area, which favored attackers from above. The last major fortification works of the citadel took place in the early 1800s. Following the Napoleonic conquest and the French defeat in Waterloo, the territory of Belgium was attached to the Netherlands. To ensure that France remained within its borders, a new belt of fortresses was erected, and the citadel was rebuilt by the Dutch. 90% of the citadel as we know it today dates from this period. From the end of the 19th century, the construction of 9 concrete forts around Namur made the citadel useless as a defense tool. It was thus turned into a leisure and walking venue. Underground galleries were built in several stages between the 16th and the 20th century. The citadel of Namur is a testimony of millions of years of geological history and 2,000 years of human history. Visiting the place is an opportunity to go through the ages and become familiar with a supreme example of military and cultural heritage.